Yo, what's going on, folks? You're here chilling with real Satoshi Aoki. I'm very happy to announce that I've got Crypto Kip from the Crypto Report YouTube channel here with me today. Mate, it's an absolute pleasure to have you here. There's actually a video where we did an interview, I think it was roughly a month ago or so on your
Yep.
channel. Right, so folks, for those of you watching out there, in today's video, we're going to be talking a little bit about crypto.com and the general market, what's going on. And if you're someone that is thinking about investing in CRO, you're involved in the crypto.com ecosystem, this is definitely one you're going to want to sit through, because Crypto Kip through the Crypto Report YouTube channel is definitely my go-to when it comes to concise crypto.com news, information, and education. He's literally banging out. I mean, how many videos are you banging out a day about general market and crypto.com? Is it like 2 or 3 a day or something?
You're too kind. Yeah, we're doing 4 a day. We do
4 a day now.
That's
Good God.
2
That's
long
awesome,
videos,
man.
pro usually, and then we do a couple shorts. So we just want to
Brilliant.
keep people. There's so much to talk about.
There's just so much to talk about. Yeah,
There's
that's
so
true.
much.
So folks, look, make sure that you head on over. I will leave the link to the Crypto Report at the very top of the description. I'm going to pin that as a comment as well. So make sure you head over, check out his content, and make sure you subscribe, guys. And, if you're enjoying his content, then, make sure you like his stuff as well, because it's going to help get that exposure for that good content. So today, guys, we're literally just going to rip into a few talking points. I've got a few questions. We're going to keep it sort of as organic and free-flowing as possible. So, and also I just want to say as well, nothing in this video is financial advice, guys. We're just 2 people in the space doing our thing, trying to bring you the raw, organic, and we're both just, I think, you can agree, we're both just trying to be as unbiased as possible in this situation. We are in quite a sensitive time in the cryptocurrency space at the moment with all the recent news that's been going on. But in these conditions, I'm sure you can agree, there's always opportunities, folks. So we're going to try and give you a bit of context, I suppose, through this video. Hopefully it will allow you to take a bit more of a macro look, a bit more of a holistic look at the situation and what's going on, and going to give you, hopefully it'll give you some direction of, where to go based on sort of where you're at. So, the first question that I kind of wanted to speak to you about, Crypto Kip, is what's your overall take on the FTX scandal? Just in general, we don't have to go into it too much because I know it goes very deep. And how much effect do you believe it really has on crypto.com overall, first of all, and maybe just a little bit of touching on maybe how it affects the overall market at all?
Yeah,
Well.
great question. I mean, it's the question at the top of everybody's mind. And Satoshi, thanks so much for having us on today. It's really good to see you again.
You too.
Smash
Pleasure.
up the like button for Satoshi, folks. But guys, FTX, we've seen what's been unfolding. Sam Bankman-Fried, he was the perfect prince that we all knew him, giving away all his money, and he was some entrepreneur that didn't want to take a dime. But then all of a sudden we find out, he's got this Alameda Research connection and maybe something with Gary Gensler. Who knows,
Well,
and,
it's the
and now,
ex-girlfriend, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, the
With the daughter.
ex-girlfriend, right?
He's the daughter.
So,
She's the daughter, right? Is that correct?
she's the daughter of a professor at MIT
Sure.
who was the head of the department that Gary Gensler worked at.
Got you.
It's strange,
Yes, that is super strange.
It's really strange. And so we're going to be looking into Gary Gensler, which is very interesting for the SEC here in America. But, the thing that blew my mind, the latest, I don't know if you saw this, is that there's $300 million worth of real estate now it's coming out that Sam Bankman-Fried actually bought in Bahamas Islands now.
Oh, I have not heard that news. That's crazy.
This is newer.
What?
Yesterday the number was like 120 million, and now it's like today they're like, no, actually like $300 million worth of property. So this guy was doing everything wrong, and it was bad for the market. And look, I mean, guys, we had a crypto market collapse. I mean, we were all feeling it. We all saw it. There was fallout. It was a black swan event in the middle of a bear market, bringing us a step lower. We saw the bear market low. I think we saw the low on account of this news. I think it was like 15.
Pretty much. We went low.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think we took the hit, and I think we're in a bear market still. And we're looking, we talked about this a little bit, Satoshi, 2024, 2025, we're expecting this bull run around this Bitcoin halving event. So in the meantime, I can't really predict the future in terms of like, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow for crypto.com. I don't know what's going to happen in a week, a month. I know that in the long term, I'm bullish on it. I don't think that the FTX collapse kills crypto.com here. I think that what it does is it caused some fear. It caused a lot of fear. And I understand. I'll be honest with everybody out there. I felt the fear too. Did I act on the fear? No, because it's not good to act on a fear, in my opinion. Now, some people pulled their money off exchanges, and I know we'll probably talk a little bit about some of that in a bit. But
Yeah.
I think that we're kind of past that fear. I think what it's done is it's cemented Crypto.com as a true project where there was no bank run. I don't think there was any chance of a bank run because they've got total value locked up in the DeFi ecosystem. This is the same reason Ethereum's not going to have a bank run, because so much of the supply of the Ethereum tokens that are held by people are sitting in staking protocols in
Very
the
good point.
chain. It's the same thing with Kronos, and I think that they've proved themselves now that they've survived this, and I think they pretty much are going to thrive into the future. And we got FIFA World Cup, but we're not seeing the worst FIFA we expected, probably on account of this FTX piece. So what are your thoughts on the whole, on this whole FTX ordeal?
I mean, pretty much the same as you, and I actually really love the fact that you brought up the TVL, the total value locked, with regards to the bank run, because I think that's something that I haven't, when you think about it like that, yeah, that makes absolute sense. But, from what I can see, there's not really many people that would look at it from that angle and are sort of taking that point of view. It's very easy just to hear one bit of FUD or see one FUD tweet from, an influencer on Twitter who's got 1 million followers, and then think, oh, he said this or she said this, and so I'm taking everything off, or I'm selling my CRO, which is frustrating. And I get it. People don't, the average person has a 9 to 5, maybe a family, and they just simply maybe they don't have the time like you and I to go ahead and go the extra length to do that research. And I think that's why it's so important to rely on sources like you, especially, who's bringing in that clarity and that good news. So that's a really interesting point of view. And
I just think that's the great thing about YouTube, Satoshi, is like, it's so hard to stay up. I've got a full-time job. I know you work as well. It's like it's a great point too. Like, a lot of people, they don't have the time. People that think crypto's cool, but they don't believe in it. Why? And then you start to ask them why, and it's like, well, I just don't have time. And like, I don't have time either, and I want to spend time with my, my fiance, and I want to spend more time with my family and my friends.
Of course.
But I find the time because I'm passionate about it. So what we can do as these influencers that we have this platform to just give the quick news to folks. And that's what I love about it. And I know that people out there want to learn about this stuff, but they don't want to dig through a bunch of articles. And so, it's fun. It's fun to give our thoughts here and kind of start to educate people, because it's all so confusing. There's a lot of fear. And to your point, like, this FTX FUD, it was so crazy. Like, we talk about CRO every day on our channel, and we believe in the project. We believe in Crypto.com. The FUD was so bad against Crypto.com on this FTX fallout that, like, even when I created a thumbnail that was slightly troubling for people, we got people that were so angry in the Crypto.com community. But if they watch the video, I'm supporting the token,
Of course.
And I think, it's a good thing to actually see that, because it means, like, people are angry that people are attacking Crypto.com because it's unjustified.
Yeah. No, 100%. That's a really good point. Yeah, thank you for sharing your thoughts on that one. So we'll move on to the next piece there. So this is, I guess, somewhat more of a recent event. So with Grayscale not feeling like they want to disclose their proof of reserves, right? Do you think, and people talking about how, if they are maybe not where they say they are, they go down, and they've obviously got a lot of diversified investments in a lot of these other big companies, etc. That takes, could that create a negative ripple effect on the market again? And could that also be another thing to damage Crypto.com? But it almost feels like it might be a similar answer to the FTX, but it is just another thing, isn't it? It's just on top.
It's another thing. I think there's going to be a lot of fallout from this. I just don't think the FTX case is over, right? We still don't see Sam Bankman-Fried in jail. We're still learning that he has millions of dollars of real estate that we didn't know about. And I don't know how none of us knew about this $35 million mansion and this, whatever he was doing with these 10 people in this high. Nobody knew about this.
This is going to make one hell of a Netflix, that's for sure.
Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be, and nobody saw it coming. And that's like kind of the funniest, scariest part about it. But, so in terms of the Genesis thing, that's a little more FTX fallout. And I think there's going to be more folks to fall. With Genesis, they're owned by a group called Digital Currency Group.
Yes.
I was looking into this a little bit earlier today.
Yes.
You look at it on Wikipedia, who do they own? CoinDesk, Foundry, Genesis, Grayscale Investments, and a company called Lunos. So Genesis and Grayscale and CoinDesk, which is a huge crypto publication, these are all owned by one entity. And this entity is very, very strong. Now, Genesis is having trouble.
Yeah.
I'm not involved in Gemini, and I know Gemini and its earn feature was tied to Genesis in some capacity, so
I
people were
see.
fearful about Gemini. I'm not here to
Ooh.
spread FUD about Gemini.
Sure, sure.
This is what people have been saying. I think that we should praise all crypto exchanges, and we should any good ones that are doing it
Mm,
right. Like I support those. If somebody's doing something foul, then an FTX removal from the market is appropriate.
sure.
I mean, I think that this Genesis thing is interesting to talk about. They're clearly having some trouble. They've had a call for help, and I think it caused fear. And I think we've already seen it play out in the market. I think if you look at the charts and you look at what happened with Bitcoin over the last 2 to 3 days, riding off this news, we saw another dip. It was kind of a spook down to
Yeah,
50.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And let me be perfectly clear that I don't know what you think, but I think we could still see a 10K Bitcoin, guys. I think it's very possible. I think an 8K Bitcoin might be possible. I don't think it's likely. I think we saw a bottom, or we're seeing bottom very, very soon. I could be
Yes.
wrong. But I think we've already kind of seen that priced in the market, this Genesis scare. And given the fact that this capital group owns Genesis, they own Grayscale, and they own CoinDesk, I think they're going to be fine. I think this company's huge. I think they have a lot of capital. And if they need to come in and play a hero for Genesis, I think they have the funds to be able to do it. But people are scared, and I get that. That makes all the sense in the world. Everybody's scared right now because it's
100%. No, 100%. And you make a really good point in stating, I guess, the magnitude of them in the space, and that, whilst it may seem in this short term, they are struggling to find some funds, right? These needed funds. I mean, given who they are owned by, you would think that someone can come in and save, or would come in and save the day if it was really necessary, because you'd think that it would rather, because it's like, as we've seen, it can have a knock-on effect, right? So it's like, what's going to cost more if someone else doesn't come in, and even if it's someone else, or whether it's them or not, that comes in and saves the day, if they don't, or if someone doesn't, this is going to have a knock-on effect on all of the cryptocurrency markets, which these bigger institutions and things, they don't necessarily want either. I mean, everyone's going to be buying the dip, and it's a good opportunity generally, but we have suffered a lot, and I think most of us, I don't know, there's definitely a large chunk of us that definitely hope that the bottom is in. I would say, you're foolish to, or naive to, rule out the possibility of an 8 to 10K Bitcoin. Of course, it's going to be possible. Anything is possible in cryptocurrency. That is the bottom line. But what I've often found is, from being in this space from 2017, is when everyone's calling one direction, it tends to almost just that's the signal where it just literally does a complete 180. Sometimes it just goes the other way, right?
Yep.
Not saying it'll happen this time, but if we talk about Bitcoin being the main driver in the market, which it pretty much is, right? It's like, how much more Bitcoin is there to be sold at a loss? You've got majority of BTC wallets, I think, in the negatives now, right? I think that was one statistic. You've got also, I think, close to, or if not all-time high, BTC leaving exchanges, going to cold storage, right?
Yep.
So there's a lot of those fundamental factors which would suggest that we definitely should be pretty close to a bottom based on that. But that's all you can do. And there's a technical analysis as well. And of course, when we're talking about CRO more specifically, it's like BTC moves up, CRO as well as other altcoins are just going to move up or down as well. That's just how it's been for a long time. Yeah.
Right. And a lot of people are like, well, the FIFA World Cup's here. Why aren't we going up? I see that, and look, it's a bullish event. We feel good about it. But the matter of fact is that if Bitcoin says we're not going up yet, then no matter how bullish an event is for cryptocurrency, it ain't going to go up. The only exception right now is this Nano project, this wallet coin, This is soaring right now because I think that's what the coin is. But Binance, CZ is tweeting about it, and because everybody's, like you said, all-time high of outflows leaving exchanges. People are putting it into cold storage.
Yes.
I think that's an interesting thing right now, and it's very specific. So people are fleeing to this coin. People are like, oh, well, this coin's going to do really well. But it's a very interesting reason. So there's always an exception, guys. But I don't think that's healthy for a coin when you see kind of like this mass, flooding into it in a bear market. Usually that coin's not going to be crazy in the next bull market, typically. But
it almost never ends well. I don't. I mean, I've invested in a lot of shit coins, and I don't think it's ever well.
Yeah,
But
no,
yeah,
but it's a great project. I just think like there's this like fearful. It's like a
yeah,
FOMO
yeah.
pump on that, and
FOMO
FOMO
pump,
pumps.
100%. Because
Right,
people are buying what people will do, isn't it? They'll buy the top and then they'll sell the bottom and then they'll
right.
complain.
Hey, if you
Right?
got Nano, by the way, smash the like button. It's a great project. Just careful out there,
Yeah.
folks.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, I guess, yeah, quick follow on from the FIFA World Cup about crypto.com. I
Yeah,
mean, do you think that's a good, I guess, strategic partnership investment overall to be
yeah,
involved in
yeah.
such an event for crypto.com?
No, I mean it's a great question. I'm sure you saw FTX Arena, Miami Heat Arena. They lost that naming rights deal.
Yes, yes.
I also showed a tweet yesterday from Binance and CZ, and he talked about back in, I think it was in like June or something of last year, something about a year ago. He tweeted, "Well, we didn't spend any of our money on like extravagant naming rights of stadiums and marketing campaigns. Instead, we focused on hiring employees." So it's interesting to see that Binance is saying we passed on all these marketing deals so we could hire more folks, which is it's a smart message. It really is.
Sure.
And then on the other hand, you've got Crypto.com that they're able to hire in a bear market, and they laid off some folks they're able to hire folks in a bull market. They had to lay off some folks in a bear market.
Yes.
Meanwhile, they're keeping their marketing deals alive. I think it's important to keep your marketing deals alive. I don't support, laying off workers necessarily. I don't think that's a good look, but I think that it's the goal for crypto.com. When you go to their website, you look at what they're doing. Their goal is to reach the next billion users and to spread cryptocurrency adoption. Yeah. They've got the name crypto.com, which is fantastic for them for, naming purposes. It's very straightforward, very easy to remember. But I think they're focused on this growth. And in order to get this household name for crypto.com, the more exposures, the better. I mean, there's going to be 5 billion people watching the FIFA World Cup right now. And everybody that tunes in is going to see the crypto.com banner right along the side of the soccer field, the football field, as you might call it over there.
Either or.
So everybody's going to see it. I think it's fantastic. I think that a lot of eyes are on this right now because, like I said, FTX Miami Heat Arena, that's gone. People are thinking, is the Staples Center going to stick around? Are we going to keep Of course we're going to keep that deal. I mean, there's a chance for anything, but they're not paying. They didn't pay the $700 million up front. They're going to pay that time. They make $1 billion a year on trading fees. I think it's sustainable. I think it's smart. I'm curious to see how many more they do. I mean, I think they've got a good position right now. I think they've got, the arena. I think they've got the commercials and the banners on CNBC even. I think that, they've got the FIFA World Cup. They've got a lot going F1. I don't need to see them expand too much more, but I'm happy that they've got the partnerships.
I'm not sure if they could expand much more, to be honest, in terms of marketing. I mean, what else is there?
As long as they can handle it, I'm happy with it. I think it's good for the project. And they're coming out there defending it. They're saying, hey, we're strong. We're not worried. And if they're not worried, so far, I believe in what they say, and there's been some other issues. People are upset about like card staking. I know we wanted to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, exactly.
There's reasons to be, questioned, and I've questioned things at times, but at the end, when you think about the business and how they're operating their business, it makes sense looking in.
100%. No, you make some amazing points about the FIFA World Cup, and one particular thing you said about how people, I think people get so impatient, don't they? It's like FIFA World Cup's here. Why isn't CRO pumping 20-30%? What happened? Like wasted marketing. I think, and you probably would agree, like what people need to realize with these kinds of things, especially when you're in the crypto space, you kind of forget what the real world is like. The real average person that's never heard about crypto is not going to see a crypto.com advert and instantly go, oh, hey, yeah, let me pull out my smartphone right now, download the app and buy some CRO and stake for a card. No, that's almost never going to happen. But what ends up happening is when they see it there and then they watch something in the UFC, they see it there. And when they see it maybe on the Staples Center and maybe it comes out somewhere else, when they see it a few times, 5, 7 times, and then cryptocurrency gets mentioned randomly and they think, okay, maybe I will buy some Bitcoin now. Right. And that might happen a month later or 2 months later or more, or even a year later. Or 2 years later.
This is a great point. I'm going to give you a parallel point to that.
Yeah.
You might have heard of ExpressVPN. This isn't an ad.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
You've heard of it. Have you ever used it?
I have a different one, but not that one. I've heard of it. Yeah.
So for me, I never needed a VPN, never wanted a VPN. There was something I was trying to do. I wanted a VPN. But I heard ExpressVPN on this YouTuber's channel over here. I saw it on a banner over here. I saw it. And I seen this thing for 5 years. And I never did anything because I didn't have a need. I didn't want a VPN. But when I wanted a VPN, I was like, do I know of any VPN companies? ExpressVPN 1,000 times. It's the same thing for a crypto holder. Cryptocurrency, not really interested. Cryptocurrency, not really interested. Crypto.com ad, Crypto.com ad, Crypto.com ad. Fast forward 5 years. I want crypto. Where do I go? Ding, ding, ding. Crypto.com. I agree. 100%. I agree.
And that's what you got to understand, guys, about the power of marketing, really. I mean, I'm not a marketing expert by any means, but when you think about it like that, that is what happens, that's the psychology behind it,
Right.
And I think because people do question the money that's being invested and that is planned to be invested in the big strategic partnerships. But when you think about it like that and think about the masses it's trying to attract, and when the bottleneck really properly breaks, then who's there to save everyone, and get everyone into crypto? Crypto.com is simply going to take a large percentage of those users as well. And what you also got to remember, I think, is for every one person that has a good experience, they might recommend it to 3, 5 or more people who hopefully also have a good experience, right? So you need to think about it, to try and think about it a little bit more like that. Don't get too short-sighted when these big events come out, like the FIFA World Cup sponsorship, and you don't see a big price at the pump. You got to remember, we're in the depths of a bear market, we're fighting against SBF scandal, etc. So just have a bit of patience and try to understand this a little better. Right, from that point of view. So
also, buy the rumor, sell the news. Got to be careful with that.
Buy the rumor, sell the news. No, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Okay, so let's move on to the next point. So again, we kind of sort of touched on this, but so I would say this is probably quite an interesting one, bit of a sensitive one, but can users feel safe leaving their funds on crypto.com? Do you personally have your own strategy for this? And just follow on from that, we got a ledger or another hardware wallet versus a DeFi wallet. Do you have any thoughts on that? What users should be doing? Should we have all our CRO or funds on crypto.com, half of them, percentage? Be different for every person, but I'm not sure if you have any thoughts.
Sure. No, I mean, it's a really great question, and I'm sure a lot of people are really curious. I'm going to be honest with the community. Now, I'm doing something that, honestly, I don't recommend to the community. And in that being said, I don't use any cold storage yet. But I intend to. I know that it's valuable. Instead, if I feel the need to store some crypto, honestly, I take a little bit of profit. I keep it as cash for a rainy day. That's my cold storage is cash.
Gotcha.
And so that's my strategy. I don't necessarily recommend that for you. I think taking profit's awesome. I always recommend taking profit at some point. But I don't use cold storage. That being said, I intend to. But I do use the Crypto.com DeFi wallet, which, not your keys, not your wallet. Well, you do have your keys on the Crypto.com DeFi app.
Yes.
It's spectacular. If you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend it. The Kronos DeFi ecosystem, spectacular. The Crypto.com DeFi app is awesome. You get your own custody. That's what we're looking for. But also, you got to kind of hedge yourself, and you don't want to be all in on CROcoin, guys. I love Crypto.com, but you can't be all in and only in one project or one exchange or one wallet. I like to spread it out. You got a little MetaMask action over here. I do have on some other exchanges, a couple coins, but I do keep some funds on exchanges still because I like to make some activity. I like to trade around a little bit. I like to, maybe I do want to ape into Nano just for a day and then get right out, maybe I didn't. 100%. I don't want to right now. I personally don't want to right now, but that is an option. But definitely, your strategy should not be keeping all your crypto on a crypto exchange. And if you do want to keep it on exchanges only, you best be spreading it out to multiple crypto exchanges. That being said, I have a majority of my funds that are on crypto exchanges in the Crypto.com exchange because I trust it the most. But the bulk of my crypto is in DeFi wallets. It's in wallets that are not on a centralized exchange. They're more on the DeFi side. That's my strategy. I think cold storage is also really important. And as my bankroll grows, I will be utilizing that more and probably storing specifically my Bitcoin on that wallet and then kind of keep some of the altcoins as, kind of to mess around in the DeFi ecosystem. And then, because obviously, if I've got a lot of CROcoins right now, and I do, I put them in the DeFi wallet and I earn 11% APY in Jerry's.
Exactly. That's really nice.
it's spectacular. So
That's very good. Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to take advantage of. Do I trust it? Yeah, I mean, I really do. I don't see any reason why they shouldn't. Just the other day, just yesterday, actually, CZ came out, and I don't know if you know, they own Queen Market Cap, where we go to check our prices every day.
Yes.
Binance owns that. They
Yes.
just listed a new feature where they're going to show everybody's POR, proof of reserves, and right now, KuCoin, Crypto.com, OKX, and a couple other exchanges, Binance, are posting their proof of reserves and being transparent.
That's really cool.
They're going to be strong. Crypto.com showing their transparency. They're showing they're strong. I feel good.
No, that's actually a really good point, Kip, that you make there. And yeah, I think as well, another takeaway on my end is, guys, there are lots of benefits that we don't need to run through right now about why you may have, funds on exchanges, interest rates, trading. But do remember, guys, as well, like an exchange is used for an exchange. It's not, if you are storing mass funds on an exchange, you may want to consider using a DeFi wallet if you're in the Kronos ecosystem, or using a ledger if you're not. Because the bottom line is, you can never trust a third party 100%. And there is always a chance in any scenario where you could lose all of the funds on there, and you genuinely just have to be prepared for that.
Always. And I got to acknowledge, even Crypto.com, folks, I love it and I believe in it, but I'm not going to be right about every single thing. Nobody is. You can't predict the future. No. So you hedge your bet. You spread 100%. It out.
100%. No, that's some really great points. So the next one, this is an interesting one, right? So I know we're going back a couple of weeks or whatever, but I did want to get your take on it, because you are the one that brings the hot crypto.com news. The 320k ETH to the Gate.io whitelisted wallet. What really happened there? I mean, I know it's a little bit of a sensitive one, and everyone might have their own opinion, but be interested to have a bit of a summary about what you thought about that.
What? What happened? I didn't hear about this. I'm selling it all. I'm panicking.
I don't know.
It was scary. That was peak fear. I mean, that was right after the FTX collapse, and then all of a sudden, add a cherry on top of a not so tasty sundae. It was bad. It was bad news.
But it was pre-FTX, but it was after the FTX news, wasn't it? I think people kind of need to get that too, right? Because that was like, but still.
So the story is, So the story is that basically they transferred. So here's how people understood it, and here's how people were talking about it.
Yeah.
FTX collapsed. Everybody wants to prove proof of reserves, and so Crypto.com sent funds over to Gate.io so Gate.io could prove their proof of reserves. And then after they took a screenshot of these funds that weren't theirs, that were Crypto.com's, to prove Gate.io was good, they sent it back to Crypto.com. And they were trying to get away with something really sneaky, which on a surface level, like, could scare you. But then on the surface level as well, you should go, that doesn't pass the sniff test, because why would Crypto.com, and I think it's very friendly of them to do that, unless they have some strategic partnership, why would they ever do that? I don't understand why they'd ever help out a competing exchange. When you look at CZ right now and Binance, he's trying to attack other exchanges. I think they're competitive, and I think they have to be competitive. But I don't like to see them bash each other. But I don't think they were in cahoots. I don't think there was anything here. When you look at the timeline, like you said, these funds were sent well before the FTX collapse, before the proof of reserves conversation was coming up. And when you also look at the time that Gate.io took their screenshot, it's been proven that they took their screenshot of these funds prior to the Crypto.com transfer. And the other piece of the story that nobody was talking about, which was so frustrating to the entire Crypto.com community, it is so upsetting. The biggest problem was that when Crypto.com sent these funds, they were saying they sent it to Gate.io. They sent it to Gate.io, like as if they sent it to Gate.io, not in their possession anymore.
Exactly.
Which was not the case. It was their private wallet. On the Gate.io exchange, because they have funds on Gate.io. They have a wallet on Gate.io, just like you or me. And so it is bad that they sent it to the wrong wallet. But they never lost access to their funds. They were always their funds. The issue they ran into was that when they went to withdraw their funds from their own wallet on Gate.io, is that the withdrawal limit was not big enough. So they had to call support and open the withdrawal limit. So it was a mistake, but it wasn't out of the world. And even Chris Marzak's come out, and I believe it. They were never at risk of losing those funds. They sent it to the wrong wallet of theirs, not to somebody else's wallet. they said they came out, they fixed the issue, why it happened. Maybe they labeled their wallets a little bit better, I hope.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a good look, but we're past it. And
No, yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I mean, to be honest, we'll never know really what the truth always is with these kinds of things, you know.
right.
But at the end of the day, it's kind of like it's like, okay, in my mind now, I kind of think, you know, if there was something fishy going on, what was that fishy thing? Like, I'm trying to think of what that would be, and it's hard to determine what that might have been. So, but it's almost like,
Yeah.
whether it's good or bad to say this, it kind of feels like it's not surprising that they would make a silly mistake. Crypto.com, in some respects with this, maybe, I don't know. So, because, well, that's the narrative that they're painting, right? We made a dumb mistake. Like, that's a shocker. That's a really, I mean, it's a mistake, but it's just, I guess it's just like, yeah. But as you say, you know, it's not, they sent it to their own wallet. They didn't send it to some random wallet. And that was frustrating because a lot of coverage was like, they just sent it to some random address.
Right.
And the funds could have been lost. Well, no, they go through a whitelist procedure. It's very vigorous. You have to do the same thing as a Crypto.com app user, right? Before you send, you need to whitelist. You double check, still do a test send on top. So whilst the timing was just so bad, I do think it was awful timing, but I think it was frustrating to see a lot of people on Twitter in particular, and probably on YouTube. I didn't see too many because I didn't really look, but just capitalize on that clickbait. And it was, but not really sharing, you know, the real facts. That was frustrating because, you know, you can say it's just FUD, but at the end of the day, it takes a hit. It does affect Crypto.com. People would have sold and probably haven't had the time to get back in, and it does impact things negatively. You know what I mean? So, folks, I just say when it comes to these kinds of things, you know, do a little bit of research. It doesn't take just take that extra 5-10 minutes. It doesn't take that long. Dive a touch deeper. Check the blockchain. What's really happening? Don't just see one tweet and act on it like that. It's frustrating.
I agree, but here's the thing. You know, as bad as it is, and the FUD is so frustrating to see. You know, and it's good to do the dive deep, and I'm with you. As bad as this FUD was, it was actually so good for us because when you think about it, bad news is good news. We've seen this proven time and time again. I don't want to get political, but you've seen when somebody is getting bad press in the headlines, they could get more popular, and then all of a sudden, I don't know, get elected president. You know, and so it can happen. You know, it's bad press can be good press. And it actually typically is because now people are talking about it, and especially if now. You know, it's not always the case, but for Crypto.com, it sure certainly seems like it, especially if they're talking badly about a project in bad press. You know, is it good press? Well, if the company's good, then it is good press, even if there's a bad narrative going on, because then people will look into it, and then we'll do the research.
100%.
So it's good in the long run, you know, just painful.
Exactly. No, 100% agree. And no, you are so right about that. I could not agree more. You know, that's how you got to look at it as well. I mean, I guess it's like, short-term pain, long-term gain in this case. And Chris Marszalek did come out in that AMA and he addressed the fact that, you know, actions are louder than words, not just in this space, but just in all of life. You know, what do people do? Watch what people do. What do companies do? And you know, base your decisions off of that. Right. Yeah. And yeah, it's, you know, that it's not the first time they've gone through some scrutiny, and generally they've always come out the other end with a reasonable explanation. So I think that's pretty cool. All right, Kip. So the next thing I wanted to talk to you about is, now we're not going to go into a full-on debate about NFTs. Are they good? Are they bad? It's not an easy yes or no. But talking about Chronos NFTs in particular, because I got to be honest, like I do own a few, and I know it's really nice to see there is a proper NFT Chronos community. They froth over it. We do Loaded Lions as well as a few other collections as well. I haven't been checking it out in the last few months, but I wanted to know your take on Chronos NFTs and if you had any.
I do. I don't have one yet.
Okay.
I'm going to buy my first one tomorrow, and of course,
nice.
It's going to be a Loaded Lion.
You're going for the Loaded Lion.
Yep. I can't tell you which one because I don't want somebody to buy it before I do. But I can't tell you what. I'll show you on the channel. We'll flaunt it next time we do a video together. But I want a Loaded Lion. I think they've.
Why do you want a Loaded Lion over other Chronos NFTs?
Well, first, I mean, they're kind of like the CryptoPunk of like the Chronos chain in my mind. It's like if you're looking at NFTs for Crypto.com, if you're looking for the next CryptoPunk on the Crypto.com NFT platform, I think that it's loaded line. I think it just makes sense.
Yeah.
We still have to see some more utility come out for that, so it's going to be very interesting. But, frankly, I'm a supporter of CRO. I'm part of the CRO fam, part of the CRO army. Smash up the like button for loaded lines. I got to buy one of these lines. I got to have one, and I'm going to post it as my Twitter profile.
You need one, man. Like, it's actually messed up. You should really have one already. This should be your second one, in my opinion, to be honest.
It'll be my
Now
first.
I'm thinking about it.
I know.
But that's awesome. That's a good plot. Look, the bottom line is you're getting started. That's awesome. I love that.
That's it. There's a lot of research to do, but it's holding value really well. And
it is, isn't it? It is holding value really well. And I couldn't agree more with you. I couldn't agree more with you in the fact that you're saying it is kind of like the crypto punk or even like the Bored Ape of the crypto.com ecosystem. And, guys, it's just another investment. It's another risk, but you don't need to overthink it. Do you know what I mean? And what I really like about if you invest in the right not just Chronos NFTs, but NFTs in general, but if you're speaking about this loaded line as an example, I made a video about this months back. But, if we see a progressive rise in the floor price of these NFTs, you don't only get the floor price rise, but you also get what you would hope is the appreciating asset value of CRO as well. So it's kind of like, yes, maybe you're taking a bit more risk versus just investing in CRO, but it's like, in my mind, for me personally, not financial advice, it's a pretty good risk to reward ratio, the loaded lines. That's just my opinion, and I stick by what I spoke about in the video a few months back as well. So that's really interesting. I don't own one yet though, because I was waiting for a buy-in price. Then bear market happened, and I kind of I steered away from all NFTs. But I'm there's 2 or 3. I'm this close to pulling the trigger as well. And honestly, after this conversation, there's a good chance I'll have one in the next few days.
Well, then our homework as a team here, Satoshi, is we're gonna come back to the next video. We'll show each other our NFTs.
100%. There's a good chance I'll have one. All right, Kip, last question before we go into like a bit of an outro, and we're going to give you a bit of a price prediction for CRO given the current climate, bit of an update there, see where we, where are things headed for CRO. Before that, I need to know the crypto.com debit card. That's the one that got me into the space. Where do you stand with the crypto card at the moment? Rate cuts? Are you holding a card? What's going on there?
Well, I'm holding 3 cards, Satoshi.
3 cards? God damn.
I've got a green one, I've got a purple one, and I got the rose gold. So
wow, nice.
It's a little complicated, but basically the green one and the purple one are the same tier.
Yes.
Anyway, I have 2. I had a little issue with that, but we figured it out. Crypto.com support was fantastic, actually, in helping me figure it out. So that was very cool. So, the rates were changed, all that, there's been a lot of controversy. But the cards were, at one point, one of the main things for crypto.com. Okay.
Yes.
And I want to be very clear in that's not the main thing for crypto.com anymore. That's not the shiny object in the room for crypto.com. At one point it was, and it's still very cool. And I bought McDonald's yesterday with my crypto.com card.
Hell yes.
And like almost every day I would buy something, $2, $3, $10 item maybe. I like to use it because it's, I put my money in crypto, and then I want to take a little bit out maybe because I don't want to go for my credit card. I mess with it. It's interesting to use. It's very cool, and I like to also tell people, look at this crypto card that I could buy things with. It's kind of spreads adoption. Like people say you can't buy anything with crypto. Well, haha, look at this card.
100%. Yeah.
So I loved the rates when they came out. If you're not familiar with crypto.com rates and the cuts they've done, they had really great gains where you could have 8%, 10%, 12% APY on USDC coin, on Ethereum, on crypto.com, on Pro. The staking rewards, you locked it up for 180 days, I think it was, and you'd get, 8, 10, 6% on your Crow coins, and you'd get 5, 8% cash back on every purchase. The rewards were fantastic. And then at the beginning of this year, I think it was, at the end of this bull market, they slashed the rates. Everybody panicked. Another big FUD story. Yeah. And the rewards were a lot less. And everybody went, is this it? Is it over? Is it dead? But the reality is that, folks, I had the upgrade for the purple and the green card. I put $4,000 in. I even went for the rose gold card, folks. I don't disclose the figures on the channel. At one point, this is the first, guys, smash your like, but I put 40K into Chronos, and actually it worked out because I did it before November. That was really cool.
Wow. Awesome.
Worked out. But I put it in there and I did the rose gold card and I locked it up, and
Nice.
I was
Nice.
holding that in the locked feature for 180 days, actually
Yep.
more. I wasn't
Yep.
I wasn't planning on changing that. When they
Yep.
cut the rates, I assessed it and I asked myself, is $40,000 really worth it anymore with the
Mm.
reward giving? And I came to the answer, no, it wasn't. And so I ended
Fair.
up actually unlocking those CRO coins and putting them into the DeFi wallet. And now
Sure.
I'm earning 12%, 11%, 10% APY. Any given day it's different on those coins, which is actually better than what the staking rewards were when I had it locked up as the rose gold card anyway. So what they've done is they've kind of re-incentivized and de-incentivized folks to de-incentivize them from necessarily locking that 40K up in the crypto.com card. Instead, they're asking, why don't you put it in our Kronos ecosystem? And they're asking that because look at the rates they're offering. They're trying to pull you in a new direction. Why?
Yes.
They
Yes.
rebranded the name of crypto.com coin
Yep.
to Kronos because the Kronos ecosystem. They're trying to have more total value locked up. They're trying to rebrand themselves to push themselves more towards building a decentralized economy and getting into that DeFi space.
Yes.
Meanwhile, the cards are still really cool. Now, maybe it's not worth 40K or 400K for an Obsidian anymore, but maybe the 4K plan, I still think it's kind of neat. If you're going to hold some CRO, why not? And also, maybe you just want to get the cheap one that's like $400 or the free one just so you have a crypto card. That's really cool. It's still neat. And I think it still sets them apart from some of the competition.
Yes.
FTX was going to launch a card and they were launching a card. Well, that's not going to be competition for crypto.com anymore.
Nope.
Binance tried to launch Swipe a while ago.
Yeah.
It's not big. It kind of flopped. So I feel good. I mean, the positioning is good. It's not the main draw anymore. It's not the big flare in the room for crypto.com. And I used to have my CRO staked for the rose gold card. I got rid of my benefit for all my CRO that I had locked up in the rose gold card tier. And I moved it to DeFi, but I still get to use the card. I still bought.
100%, 100%. I totally get that. And you touch on some really great points, and I hope you guys are listening because that everything you're saying about the way you use the card and everything, it just makes a lot of sense. And the fact that moving that money to DeFi just makes more sense. Getting that 11%, right? And you can still just use the card, and benefits might not be as good, but you just have to do the math. Like there can always be a better way to do things while still being in the crypto.com ecosystem. And that's really cool. Guys, we could honestly, I have to run pretty soon in the next sort of couple of minutes. I'm shattered because we could just keep talking for ages, Crypto Kip and I, but do make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And before we go, head on over to his YouTube channel, which I'll leave at the top of the description. Check it out, guys. Get subscribed. The raw, authentic, unbiased content from the Crypto Report is fantastic. It's honestly so good. But really, just before we go, the ultimate question, CRO price given the current times, any predictions? Not financial advice, guys, please. But, people want to know. It's the question. We got a 30 billion total supply, right? Good-looking companies. I think if they can hold true through the bear market, we enter a bull, which hopefully they will. What can we see maybe in the next? Maybe we'll do like a quick 1 year and maybe a quick 5 year or something like that.
I'll give you 1 year, 5 year, 10 year. Let's
done.
Exciting.
I'm good with that.
1 year. Sideways. Really? I mean, maybe 30 cents. I've talked about that. We could see that fair. On the high end. Fair. We're at a bear market, folks, and I think the bottom's coming. We can rebound up to 15, 20, 25, maybe 30 cents, But we're not going to start getting back, in my opinion. I could be wrong. I certainly hope I'm wrong in that I'm not bullish enough. But I don't think we're going to get to that dollar in the next 365 days. I think in the next 365 days, we're going to gear ourselves out to get some footing.
Yes.
So that we can get to that dollar in the next bull run and then pass. So for me, maybe 30 cents on the bullish side, I think. Hopefully more, right, for the next year?
Yep. That's fair. I think that's fair. I'd probably agree, to be honest.
I think it makes sense. 5 years, I'm going to say, we talked a little bit about this. I believe the next bull market's coming 2024, 2025. So really, we're looking at the next, in the next 3 years. I'm looking at, you know, the next all-time high for CRO. I've talked a little bit about this. I mean, I think $2 should be a slam dunk, really.
Nice.
I mean, especially since we've come out of all this fear.
Yep.
We've come out strong. We're not going anywhere. No bank runs happening on this coin, and that's been proven.
Yeah.
Really great, and not to mention, again, they're pivoting to get value locked up more. They're moving away from the card, want locked up value. $2, I think, is very feasible. When you look at if they were to take like half a market cap of Binance, which you know, I think they're very strong, you could see figures up to $5-6 potentially in the 3 to 4 year time frame. You know, in the next bull run. In 10 years, you know, in not the next bull run, but the bull run after that. I mean, honestly, Satoshi, I think we could be above $10. I mean, I don't see why not. So long as Crypto.com sticks around and it's one of the major exchanges, I believe in this company. I believe in the program. I'm not an ambassador. I'm not a sponsor for them. I'm just a guy that believes in a crypto project, and we're building a community. And I'll keep people posted, you know, with my unbiased, real thoughts on the story. You know, I'm a bull. I'm not afraid to share that with you. I got a lot of CRO coin. But you know, if there's a time where you do need to, God forbid, jump ship, I'll be honest. I'm not gonna, you know, promote a coin that's gonna die. I needed to defend CRO coin in this last fear with FTX, this whole FUD movement, because it was unwarranted. It was wrong. I'm bullish. You know, 30 cents in a year, maybe $2 to $5 in the next bull run. 10 years, $10 CRO coin. What do you guys think?
Could be. No, there's some great predictions. I think very fair, not over the top, not too extravagant like way too many YouTubers and influencers, you know, say or talk about. I think that's very reasonable. And to be honest, I think my own predictions as it stands would be pretty similar. So look, Crypto Kip, thank you so much for coming and having this chat. Again, we could just keep talking for hours. I think next time, guys, we're going to be on Crypto Kip's channel again, and we're literally just going to be going back and forth. I hope to make this even maybe a month-to-month kind of thing if you guys kind of enjoy it. I think people generally kind of enjoy these back and forth chats, and probably some live streams coming on both of our channels at some point in the future soon. So again, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the Crypto Report.
Subscribe to Satoshi.
And me, of course, yes.
Smash it up.
You can do that too. Smash the likes, guys. It's free and easy to do, and it really helps if you've got a YouTube account. Hope you really did enjoy the video. And yeah, thank you so much again, Crypto Kip. And we'll hopefully catch you again pretty soon. Cheers,
Very
buddy.
soon, my brother.
Cheers, guys.
Soon, my brother.
Take care.